So hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Amesie's Corner. How are you all doing out there? So you've all heard the term share the road. Well, sometimes you're sharing the road with something like this. Yeah. How long did this thing go down the road? I'm not even going to show you what truck it is because I don't want to shame the person, but yeah, they said it came in with a tire issue, smelled like it was burning. Well, look how far they went. They went so far that it actually, I mean, like, wore the bolts that hold the bearing in. The bearing failed and they just kept going and going and going until literally the truck wouldn't move anymore. Finally, this wheel on ice would lock up, and that's what it took to get them to bring the thing in. Yeah. So I got a pile of parts. To put in this thing, so I'm gonna get this thing safe and back on the road. But wow. Okay, guys, I'm about an hour into the job. We got it all torn apart. Lucky for him, it looks like the knuckle got a little bit of damage down here in this area here. A little bit of machining went on, but I don't think it damaged it at all. I don't think it compromised it enough to make it worth replacing the knuckle. I had to torch a couple of these bolts out, the ones that did get munched into. I couldn't get a socket on them, so just real messy, real ugly. Looks like the caliper took some damage. Definitely got overheated. There was definitely a lot of heat from the friction. Melted that piston, that boot up. These are phenolic pistons, so I don't know if they're gonna come out of it or not, so we're not even gonna take the risk of reusing that caliper. So yeah, anyway, you got to pull the strut on these to get the CV shaft out. Made a pretty good mess on my floor. Got the fan drying up the melting snow so I can sweep that up. Away she goes. Here's some more of the carnage. And here's what actually failed, was the wheel bearing itself. This would be, I didn't bother separating it from the rotor. The rotor's junk, so we're just going to replace all of this anyway. You can see where I had to torch the bolts to get it out and wrestle that out. That didn't want to come out, the hub itself. Got so hot it melted the wheel speed sensor, melted that right up. So we had, you know, lights on the dash from this, so it wasn't like there was no indication. But yeah, it just kept going and going and going. So it looks like the caliper bracket is what actually kept the wheel on, and you can see it got so hot that it blew the metal and burned the paint, but it also bent the actual bracket. So this was literally the only thing holding, look at that, where the hat of the rotor went. Literally the only thing holding this wheel on the vehicle was those two bolts and that caliper bracket, and that was it. The CV shaft was holding the weight of the vehicle right on this cup. All right in here is what wore through those bolts and the knuckle a little bit. So yeah, that's what you damaged, and this is what it's going to take to put this thing back to right, to get this thing out of the cabbage. We got the new wheel bearing. We use Moog, a higher quality than most people would use wheel bearing. It comes with the wheel speed sensor, as most of these do. Interesting enough, it's cheaper to buy a wheel speed sensor with the bearing than it is to buy a wheel speed sensor. I think the sensor itself is like $30 more than doing the whole bearing. So I got some new bolts from the dealer for the hub. These are the ones that got machined out, and I had to torch the two, so excuse me. So we got some more of those. I got some abutment shims for the brakes, because we're also going to be doing a brake job. The pads got pretty scorched out, and there wasn't really a lot of life in those, so we're just going to go ahead and do both front brakes. So we got new rotors, pads, got a new caliper to replace that bracket and the damage to the other caliper you saw on the truck. We got the new CV shaft here ready to go. Alright guys, I'm going to throw this thing together. I apologize I can't show you more of the process, but we're really busy here at the shop, and I barely have enough time to even show you what I've got going on. But I figured something with the wheels falling off like this needed to be shown. Alright, I need to get back to work. And there we have it. Good as new. All brandy new. No more wheel falling off. That hub bearing, some new hardware, the new axle, new caliper all bled up, new brakes, pads, and rotors, new wheel speed sensor. Came with the bearing as you guys saw it. But yeah, there we go. Ready to go down the road. All right, all fixed up. I'll tell you, driving out the door a lot better than it drove in the door. That's literally what happened. The road's iced up and that wheel locked up, and the guy still drove it here, but it took the wheel stopping to spin, failure of the wheel to spin, for this customer to actually bring this car in and get it fixed, get his truck fixed. And you know, all the lights on the dash are now out. We had StabiliTrak lights, we had ABS lights, which are to be expected with that burn sensor. There was a lot of heat in there. Did some damage to the wheel finish, so you know that's going to be accounted for too. But at least now it's safe. Goes down the road straight again. Good, another good job out the door. I got like 3 more jobs left to do. It's only 2 o'clock, so a few more things left to do. But anyways, on this road test, I want to just do a little update on what's been going on with the channel. You guys might have noticed I've kind of slowed down posting lately. We've just been so slammed at the shop. It's pretty much every minute that I have to work on cars is going to be given to working on cars. I can't really take the time to make a video when we're still packed. We're still looking for the right guy in the shop too. We did hire somebody off of that other video a few months back, and he's a great addition, but we've just been jumping up the workload. It's just been coming at us left and right. We don't even have the lull in the winter, so we got some stuff planned. I got some build videos planned. I got some more tool reviews planned. Another thing I've got that I wanted to ask you guys about is I've acquired a lot of old footage, a lot of old car commercials and documentaries like Building the Massachusetts Turnpike, which I found very interesting. I'm glad a lot of you guys did too. So I'm going to be doing something with old car commercials from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, just stuff that brings me back to the day when I used to see them. And I'm thinking on doing some commentary, maybe a live show or two where we sit down and we watch them together. I think that'd be an enjoyable time. Well, anyways, guys, I got to turn this truck around. I got to get back in there and get the rest of the jobs out. So on that note, thanks for watching, everybody. Thumbs up are much appreciated, and I appreciate all you guys watching. And until next time, keep it out of the cabbage.